What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Shaw and Steele Show. You know I'm super fired up. It's a huge one for my Trojans. So with that being said, we're going to dive into some Week 13 college football games. Steel Chambers, you're over there eating an ice cream sandwich. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. At the grandparents' house, so I'm eating good.
Oh, you're in Louisiana?
Yes, sir. Louisiana for the weekend.
How's it going? Is it wicked down there or what?
It's wicked, man.
Any wolves running around?
I mean, got my wolf running around. That's about it. Man, bunch of raccoons roaming.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get right into it. I want to talk about my USC Trojans first. USC on the road against the Oregon Ducks. This is probably the biggest game they've had since the Pac-12 championship a couple years ago. Maybe this game's even bigger than that. So Oregon opening it up as 9.5-point favorites. Steel Chambers, I want you to start this one off.
Naturally, I'm going to go with the Ducks, quack, quack, because I hate you guys and everything you stand for. But if you want to win this game, it's got to be an absolute barn burner. Because with Oregon, you got Dante Moore, you got Whittington, you got Sadiq. USC, they've got Lemon, Lane, Maava, whatever your quarterback's name is. I don't even care anymore because I hate you guys.
Oh, my God.
So much offense.
Maava, been balling.
Yeah, whatever. There's so much offense.
Elijah Page.
I swear to Christ.
All right, go.
Fucking knock your teeth in. There's so much offensive firepower in this game that there's going to be a lot of points on the board, and it comes to one of those things where which defense do you trust more? And I'm trusting that big old front over at Oregon with Bear Alexander over you guys any day of the week. So, Oregon.
Are they covering 9.5 in your eyes?
Are they covering?
Don't disrespect us.
Yeah. They're going to cover. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay, Steve. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it is going to be a barn burner, and I also think it's going to come down to what front plays better. When I look at this USC defensive line, we've talked about it on our recap. There's been times when they get pushed around, but I've also been around these guys, and I know they have all the talent, and I've seen them even throughout this year have spurts of domination. Michigan game, second half of Iowa, they played much better. Second half of Northwestern, Nebraska, they played good. So they've shown that they can step up and be that defensive line that they need to be. But it's about being consistent. So if they're consistent there, then we'll be fine. Then when you look at the offense, listen, Indiana, Mendoza, he lit them up pretty good with Surratt and Cooper, and I think Lemon and Lane are better than Surratt and Cooper from Indiana. So I don't fear this Oregon pass defense. I know they're ranked like number 1 or whatever, but I don't fear them. I don't think they faced an offense like us, and I think we're going to be fine. I think the Oregon Ducks, 2011, the Oregon Ducks were 14.5-point underdogs. I mean, the USC Trojans were 14.5-point underdogs, went into Oregon and took care of them, and I think this is going to replicate that. I got my USC Trojans on the road, 9.5-point underdogs, getting a big-time win, and pretty much locking up a college football playoff spot.
Congrats. You guys got to win 15 years ago. This is a whole different team. Your culture has gone down the drain.
No.
This is a different team.
Lincoln Riley's been building the culture back up. He's been building the culture back up, and I'm telling you, it's getting better and better and better.
No, you know what? You've been there, so you know, but I don't give a shit. Your culture sucks.
Okay, you're gonna find out.
Yes, you guys are about to get run through. Have you ever had Apple Jacks?
No, I never had Apple Jacks.
Do you remember those old commercials with like the apple and that dude cinnamon?
I remember
Your
that.
little linebacker is built like the fucking cinnamon stick.
All right, chill out. Eric Kendrick plays well. He makes a lot of
saying that's the kind of guy that's going to try to help stop this Oregon run defense that's been unreal this year. No, Oregon run offense.
I know what you mean. All right. Well, listen, enough with the talking. It's going to get settled on the field this Saturday.
Let's make a bet.
All right, what bet do you want to make?
I have one in mind. I don't know if it's good, though.
Say it.
I had this one with my buddy for the Georgia-Texas game last year. Loser has to have their ass waxed.
Dude, I'm not doing that. I don't get down like that, man.
You're a coward. This is you.
I don't get down like that. You guys are too fruity down there in Georgia. I'm not getting down like that.
It didn't even happen. There was a miscommunication. They ended up shaving getting my cheeks instead of the actual like a real Brazilian. So I lucked out.
All right. Okay. I'm not making that bet. We'll come up with something on the side. Man, I don't know what they put in that Georgia water, but there's something wrong with you guys. Okay, let's move on. Ohio State. We got Rutgers going into the shoe, taking on the Buckeyes. Ohio State's opening up as 31.5-point favorites. I'm just going to say I got Rutgers covering. I got Rutgers covering 31.5.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. It's going to be a young guys period for them.
It's going to be another young guys period. I expect them to run the ball, get the run game going like they did against UCLA, work on what their weaknesses has been. And but with that being said, Rutgers is a little bit better, I think, than UCLA.
Maybe, but they're going to have their old guys, their starters. They're going to get in the game, probably play a half. It's going to be a blowout by then. They're going to get the young guys in, get them experience. Probably all those special teams guys just getting in, getting meaningful reps. And then they're just – once that second half rolls around and they're up by 30, everyone's mind's going straight to next week. We're going to be talking about that game for about an hour.
Oh, so yeah.
I might as well save all of my Ohio State talk until next week because I'm going to get pretty passionate.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Okay. And then next Big Ten. This is my last Big Ten matchup I got for you, Steele. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. This is the last. It's done. This is the last Big Ten matchup I got for you.
Yep.
Michigan on the road against the Maryland Terrapins. Dude, come on. This is late November at the University of Maryland. We know what happens late November at the University of Maryland. Michigan, I've been saying this all year. I've been wrong all year long. It's probably my fourth time saying this. Maryland is destined to beat somebody, and it's going to be the Michigan Wolverines this weekend.
Maryland's not destined to beat shit. They have not earned the right to have a destiny. So no.
No, they're going to be – listen.
What have you guys done? What have you – name one thing you've done.
First off, I don't know why you're saying you guys.
Because you claim them. You claim USC. You claim all these teams.
No, I claim USC and I claim Ohio State. And Maryland, I like Maryland because they're my hometown school. And I want to see them do well.
There's no other podcasting outside of the state of Maryland that has brought them up more than us because of you.
Yeah, because I love my Terps, man. I love my Terps.
All right, so you claim them.
All right, I got it. You know what? I'll claim them. The Terps are going to get it done. There's a lot of, up in the air debate about their head coach. Are they going to fire him? They're going to keep him. That's been a distraction. They say they're going to keep him and invest some money into the program. Watch out for this Maryland Terrapins program over the next couple of years.
No. Michigan's going to win this. They're going to come into next week strong, so that win looks even better for the Buckeyes. I mean, last game it was close with Northwestern because they had 5 turnovers. Besides that, I mean, they were obviously the better team.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to find out. Okay.
Yes, we are.
So now we're heading to the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is the time of the year where a lot of the SEC schools got bye weeks. But there are a couple who do not. And by far, I could be wrong, but looking at it off the top, by far the biggest game in the SEC is the Oklahoma Sooners at home against the Missouri Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma, 7.5-point favorites. Steele, what do you got? This game scares me.
This could be interesting. It's one of those things where Oklahoma, they just got done with their biggest game of the year in Alabama. Huge win for them. So there's a chance they're already looking at playoff pictures. But this Missouri team, we talk about them more than most. Their defense, it's a good defense. They scored 2 touchdowns last week against Mississippi State. Awesome. And then their offense, ever since they lost Prebula, they've been really one-dimensional with Ahmad Hardy, but he had 300 yards on the ground last week. So even though their backup quarterback in Zollers isn't as good as Prebula in the air, they're still finding ways to open up the ground game. So they can find a way to do that in this game, but Brent Venables, he's on the other side calling the defense. There's no shot that a one-dimensional team is going to be able to get past that defense without just getting beat up, turnovers, whatever. So I got Oklahoma. I can see it being a close one because they're looking too far ahead.
Okay, Steele. Now, Missouri is probably the next school we bring up the most outside of what we're connected to because we love their defense. We love how they play. They're a physical football team, and they've just been coming up a little bit short in some of these big games. And as much as I like Ahmad Hardy, I love the big personnel, 12-13 that they do with their tight ends. The defense is phenomenal to watch. I'm on the exact same page with you here. Venables, he's going to have a game plan for stopping that run. This Oklahoma defense is legit. They should have all the confidence in the world after what they just did on the road in Tuscaloosa. They're at home. It's going to be a close game. But I would love to see Mateer push the ball down the field. I would love to see the run game get going. And Oklahoma really needs to – they need to figure it out. This is a game – it's going to be a competitive game, so you can't, experiment too much. But let's get Mateer going early. Let's get the run game going early. The offense has to show up. If the offense doesn't show up, they're going to be in another dogfight. And if they get in the dogfight, they could get
Great point. Because so far in the two big games they've won this year against Tennessee and Alabama, their defense has been the driving point in both of those wins, and that's because they've been playing teams that have absolutely no run offense. So once they face one of these more balanced teams and your defense isn't as dominant, you're going to have to rely on that offense a little bit more. And right now, with the offense they have right now, they can't. It's completely on the defense, and you can't be doing that once we get to December and you're playing the teams like Ohio State, the Ole Misses. You've got to have your entire team, all three phases, offense, defense, special teams, on board.
All right, man. I like that. Okay. Tennessee in the swamp. It's a little bit of a slow week, so some of these games we're just going to have to bear through. Tennessee.
You know what? I want to say this real quick. Even though it's a slow week, we got to be appreciative of this.
Why is that?
We only got so many more Saturdays left, man.
I know, dude. It's going by so quick.
Dude, it's going to be March, and we're going to be begging for to see some action.
I used to think it went by quick as a player, but watching it, it's flown by.
I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it, man.
I'm going to miss it. What are we going to do in the offseason, bro? Talk about freaking basketball?
Bocce ball.
I mean, like, what are we gonna do, man? We gotta pick an NHL team to get on.
I'm gonna find some on ESPN the Ocho. We're gonna talk about it.
Okay, let's do it. We got to keep this thing rolling in the offseason. Okay, going down to the swamp. Tennessee versus Florida. Tennessee's ranked number 20. Florida is Tennessee's 4-point favorites. What do you got?
This Florida team is just so hard to really get a read on. Lagway, there's games whenever he has 3-4 picks, and then last week against Ole Miss, he had a pretty good showing. So you don't know what you're going to get out of him. I do know what I'm going to get out of Tennessee. Their defense isn't always there, but Joey Aguilar in that offense, they're always hitting on all cylinders. They're going to be putting up 30-plus points every single game they're in, it seems like. So I'm going to go with the team that I trust. I know the product I'm going to get on Saturday. Give me the Vols over the Gators.
Okay, well, Swamp, one of the last games of the year, another classic SEC matchup. Gators, they're close against Georgia. They're close against Ole Miss. They're getting it done. They're beating Tennessee. So give me the Gators. They're really? Joey Aguilar's going to throw about 2 picks. Lagway's going to play a clean football game. Gators going to want it a little bit more. Give me the Gators. Okay.
Now, what do you think is going to go on with this whole coaching thing over at the Gators?
Let's hit this last game because we only got one game left, and then I got a couple questions. Okay, last game, ACC shitbox, Pitt versus Georgia Tech.
I got one more game after this, but yes.
Okay. All right, your face tells me I'm missing a game, but let's.
You are. God. I mean, this is just the battle of the forgotten bastards. Because you've got Georgia Tech. We were so high on them early on. Last couple of weeks, we completely disowned them. We left them on the steps of the old fire station. We don't care about them anymore. Pitt got ranked last week. Everyone's talking about, they have a chance in the ACC. Get absolutely mollywopped by the Fighting Irish. Yet, even though both of these teams are getting shit on all ends, they both still have chances to win the ACC this year. You've got those two, SMU, and then, of course, the Fighting Mitchell Meltons all fighting for those top 2 spots. So it could be interesting. I mean, if I'm Pitt, I'm going to try everything I can to stop Haynes King, but that's very hard to do. So hopefully their defense can have a couple big turnovers. I think that can really be a turning point in the game. Get their offense in scoring position, get some points that way. But I want the Panthers to win this because I'm just so off on Georgia Tech. I think they're going to lose these last couple games and just their entire season goes to shit. So give me the Pitt Panthers. Why not?
Okay, well, I'm going with the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And I think what Narduzzi did over there was he just put a bomb in his own locker room and blew it up, basically. He talked about, I don't care if we lose by 100. We brought this up. They go out there, they get whooped. He has made that program that season this year a losing locker room mentality. So they're going to lose. That's why I think they're going to lose. Next, Haynes King, man. He's a top 6, top 7 Heisman guy. He is the man. He's been carrying this team, and I don't think Pitt is going to be able to put up 40 points. But then again, Georgia Tech's been giving up 35 plus to a lot of teams.
They've given up 82 points in the last 2 games, by the way.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible, man. See, that's a good stat, bro.
Dude. I'm telling you, man. The freshman quarterback for Pitt, Mason Schindler. I don't know. He's gonna have a damn good day. Haynes King, he's gonna bring his fucking shit like he always does. But Pitt Panthers, man.
All right, I'm going with the Yellow Jackets. We're gonna find out. What did I say? What did I say? The spread? Oh, Georgia Tech 2.5 point favorites. It's at Georgia Tech. Okay, Steele, what's the game I'm missing, bro?
You're missing. I mean, it's still a good game, and a game this is probably my second favorite game of the weekend.
Oh God!
Our Bearcats, Cincinnati taking on BYU.
Wow, that is a big time game. Hold on,
Come on, man.
Oh, I see it right here. Okay, I got it
right there. That can shake up the entire Big 12.
I heard somebody say it in a real kind of – actually, it was Portnoy. I actually don't like Portnoy. I don't like Dave Portnoy. But he brought up a good point. He says every single week it seems like people are picking against the BYU Cougars. Every single week. Their only losses is Texas Tech. They are a legit threat in the grand scheme of things, and it was at Texas Tech. But other than that, we've picked against BYU a lot, and they've proven us wrong. Cincinnati, tough one in Tucson. I'm sorry, Gerd. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry, Evan. I'm picking against you guys again, man. I am really, really sorry. It's just I'm just gonna go with BYU. I like where they're at right now, and this one I feel. Last week I didn't feel bad because I feel like they don't understand. This one I feel a little bit bad about, but
You're a slimy fuck. You know.
I know. I know, bro. I know. I feel bad about this one, but I like BYU. BYU.
Okay, let me draw out. Let me help, okay? Because they need a little bit of loving, and you're never going to give it to them, so I'll do it.
Okay.
BYU does have the blueprint for beating this team, at least on the defensive side. All you got to do is play man-to-man. Sorsby's going to struggle finding his wide receivers. But secret weapon that they have not utilized this entire year, in my opinion, Joe Royer. He's going to come out to play. Patrick Gerd, he's going to be that extra utility knife that you need whenever in the flat. They're going to use the tight ends. Their defense is going to make some stops against Bayer and this BYU offense, and they're going to find a way to win. I know they're coming off a 2-loss streak, but you got to give it to the Bearcats. They're going to find a way to win this. It's going to be a 3-way tie for that second spot in the Big 12 between them, BYU, and Utah. And I'm not sure how that's going to shake out, but I just want madness over there.
Okay, I like it. So for the Max Madness, we need Cincinnati to win.
Cincinnati wins, and then all 3 of those teams have 2 losses in the Big 12. I think it's going to come down to like the strength of schedule or like the record of your opponents.
Okay, perfect. All right, okay, Steele. So now let's get into some extra stuff. I got some scenarios for you, but let's talk about the coaching stuff. First off, James Franklin, Virginia Tech. We disagree with this a little bit. I think he stays in that recruiting region. It's the ACC. It's a good school, not Penn State, still a good school. I mean, he's going to have a chance to crack into that playoffs every year with Virginia Tech in the ACC. He doesn't have to worry about the big dogs. So I like the hire, and I like it for James Franklin.
It's one of those things where he's definitely going to improve that program like infinitely. But he has the mentality where I want to go out there and win national champions with this team. He said that on College Game Day. I feel like that's just the kind of coach he is. He's not going to do that at Virginia Tech. I don't care how much recruiting is going to get better. I don't care how much money they pour in. I just don't see the Virginia Tech hokey pokies being able to go out there and legitimately win a national championship. That's just not going to happen while he's the coach there. That's kind of why I have a problem with it, because I want him to go to a big program where he does have a chance, and that's not Virginia Tech.
You never know, man. You get into that dance, anything can happen.
Maybe like the BCS days, if they could stay in the ACC, stay undefeated, and then they happen to be in the championship. But now with this whole playoff thing where you've got to win 4 or 5 games against ranked opponents, it's not happening at Virginia Tech.
Okay. All right, let's move on. I like that. Sumerval, or hold on, let me make sure I'm saying it.
John, the Tulane coach, he just got interviewed.
Okay, just got interviewed, but I'm going to bring that up second. The first thing I want to talk about is, did you see his comments about his team?
Sumerval?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you're going to love this one, Steele. You're going to love this one, Steele. So, you know how they're in the playoffs right now, technically.
Yeah, they've got a shot.
Yeah, well, like if the season were to end, they'd be the group of 5. Well, they asked him at his press conference what he thought about his school, Tulane, being in the group of 5, and he literally said, he's like, that just shows me that college football is at an all-time low right now. This is what he says. He goes, we are an extremely average team, and we don't deserve to be in there. And that is kind of, and a lot of people, like the mainstream media, were like, man, why would he say that? Like, that's not a good way to sell yourself. And comparing him to like Narduzzi's comments about Notre Dame. But to me, like the way he said it and like the message he meant was basically to his football team, like, we got to step it up. We got to play. We're not deserving. So I like the comments. I like the statement. He's a good coach. That dude is a good coach. Steele, what do you think about those comments?
I think everything he said is true, because if you're one of those group of 5 teams, what's Tulane's record? They have 2 losses this year. Yeah, if you're a group of 5 team and you want to make the playoffs, I think it has to be one of those things where you are going out there, you're beating the shit out of all these lesser teams. You go into the playoffs undefeated, and that kind of gives you like, hey, I know we played lesser opponents, but we're dominating them. Like kind of like a Boise State thing that they did with Genty. They sort of earned it because they went out there and they won these games. Right. If you're a group of 5 team, you're getting 2 or 3 losses with this lesser schedule. I just don't think you're deserving of a playoff spot. It's a cool story. It's cool to say, oh, Tulane got in the playoffs, James Madison got in the playoffs. But we need the 12 best teams in, so it makes all these games interesting. And that right there is kind of what he's saying. He's got an average team. Yes, he's trying to pump up his team naturally. He's not just going to say, oh, you guys are going to lose.
Yeah.
But he's being truthful, because those are average teams over there compared to the big dogs over at the Power 4.
Yeah, so we're on the same page. He hit the nail on the head, and I like that statement. Now, I've heard a bunch of things. Maybe you can help me. I heard he interviewed with Florida. Now I heard that he's withdrawn from the running from Florida. So what have you heard? And what do you think? Is he staying at Tulane for a little bit, or do you see him bouncing?
I can see him bouncing. I mean, if they're giving him the opportunity to have the Florida coach over the Tulane coach, I'm 100% taking that. I don't know how long he's been there at Tulane. I don't know what kind of roots he's grown there. But, I mean, Florida coach, that's a top 5 spot in all of college football. You should be taking that if you're getting an interview and they say, hey, we want you coaching here.
Yeah, you definitely got to take that.
But then you've got this whole Lane Kiffin thing just lurking. And I've heard so much stuff about this. I guess there's an ultimatum thrown out there by Ole Miss saying, hey, you have to decide by the Egg Bowl if you're staying here or not. It seems like a complete mess, just absolute Lane Kiffin style. So
yeah, I mean, and then he went on Pat McAfee and he said that is so untrue. They haven't given me an ultimatum. Then I'm hearing the basketball coach, the women's basketball coach over at LSU, saying that she saw his family in Baton Rouge, and then I'm seeing that he was visiting Florida. So I don't know what he's got going on, but I do know that Ole Miss has got a dang good football team and have a real shot to win the playoffs. So he better lock in.
The women's LSU coach?
Let me look this up.
What a fucking snitch. That has nothing to do with your school at all.
LSU.
Oh my God, dude, that would piss me off.
Stay right there, Coach Lane. I don't want to mess this up. Say right there, Lane Kiffin.
That would grind my gears.
Tim Mulkey jabs media over Lane Kiffin love at LSU. Come on, where do I see this? Let's see this.
Oh, big stretch, puppy, big stretch.
Say right there. LSU coach came out. No. Oh no. My fault. She was mad. I guess she was mad that the media was more focused on Lane Kiffin potentially going to LSU than following her women's basketball team. That's what she was a little upset about that.
Let's move on before I say something.
Okay, we'll move on.
The last thing I want to do is get into women's basketball. I got in trouble at Ohio State talking about that in a class. So
okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Women's basketball.
Let's move on, man. Let's move on.
Well,
okay.
If I may say one thing.
Oh gosh. Save it, Steele.
She got mad because, hey, you guys are paying more attention to college football.
She said because they're playing Tulane. They were playing Tulane, and she said, well, the reporters are still over there in Baton Rouge. They're not here in New Orleans. They're too busy worrying about Lane Kiffin.
Last time I checked, Caitlin Clark wasn't on your fucking team, so why would anyone be watching?
I don't know, man. That women's basketball is getting kind of big.
Is it? Is it really? How many
games
have you watched? How many games have you watched of women's basketball?
I've watched, You
haven't watched jack shit, and you know it. Don't come on here and give me some bullshit answer.
I haven't watched much, but I know there are some people.
Say no.
I know there are some people who really do like it. So,
all right, whatever, dude.
Okay, Steele, you got anything else? I feel like we're missing something. There's one thing I wanted to talk about.
You think about that. I know I want to get my granny on here, but right now she doesn't understand how to use phones, so they're off trying to
be there for.
God, I'm here till I have to leave Sunday morning. Get on a flight going to Florida.
To see the old ball and chain?
I know I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
Why aren't you allowed to say that?
You can't call her that. She's my moon and my stars. You can't call her ball and chain. I got in trouble.
All right. Okay. Okay. Going to see your moon and your stars, whatever the hell that means. All right, Steele, man. I'm gonna miss this until next week.
Hopefully, if I can get her on later tonight, I'll let you know. We could do like a quick 10-minute thing where she can vent about LSU. I'll have to censor her a little bit because she's going to say some bad stuff.
Okay. All right. Great. I love that. All right, bro. All right. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Let me end this. That was a good